This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you on for what some of you is the first day of classes for your little ones. Back to school another year.
There you go. Make it a great year, and getting a good habit. And to start it off with us, Rebecca Smith there. I'm Bill Bryant, and we are glad you're with us on WKYT. And now at 6 a.m. it is the first day of school for several Central Kentucky school districts. Thousands of students starting a brand new year, and we're going to be traveling along to see how things are going early this morning.
A Richmond business fire is under investigation this morning. Why firefighters are calling it suspicious. Ahead.
And a string of car thefts under investigation in Franklin County. Why police say it could be easily prevented with a simple precaution.
And for the first day of school, no rain out there early this morning as the kids go off to the bus stop. But coming back home, that's going to be a different story. Scattered showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'll show you when those pop up and how you're going to plan out the rest of the work week off into your weekend coming up.
Okay, we'll see you shortly, and let's get to the news. It may be hard to believe that summer break is really over, but thousands of Central Kentucky students are getting ready to start a brand new school year. The alarm clock's going off now.
Love it or not, right? It is here. It's right now. Going back to school. Students from more than a dozen counties are packing up their lunches and getting those school supplies ready to head out the door, go to the bus stop this morning. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is joining us live with more on this very exciting day for students and staff and parents.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I cannot believe the summer break is over. It seems like it just goes by so fast every year, right? We've got 40,000 kids heading to school here in Fayette County this morning. And as you can see here at the Fayette County Bus Garage, a lot of drivers are showing up, getting those buses ready. They're about to head out this morning. We've already seen some leave already this morning, so keep that in mind as you head out on the roads. But these drivers are heading out, and as you head out this morning, please be safe. Like I said, we've got more than 40,000 kids either walking, riding their bike. Some of them are driving, or their parents are driving them to school this morning. And the recommendation is to leave a few minutes earlier than you have over the summer break. The big concern AAA wants to communicate is mental distractions for drivers. No texting while driving. And if you have to be on the phone, they're asking that you please be hands-free. Be sure to stop for buses and come to a complete stop at stop signs. Passing a school bus while it's loading or unloading kids is a Class B misdemeanor. So it sounds like common sense, but it is important information to remember this morning with so many of our precious children out and about here in the county. The police would also like to tell parents to remind your kids who walk to school to not take shortcuts. They need to use sidewalks, walk with friends if possible. Also remind your kids to go home straight after school this afternoon and just have a great first day of school. And there's also some added excitement here in the county. We've got 2 new schools opening up. Those elementary schools we'll tell you about coming up at 6:30. Live here in Lexington at the Fayette County Bus Depot, you can see the buses are about to leave. I'm Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, it's a lot of fun. Everybody get ready and make it a real good school year. The students and the teachers, the staff, everybody work hard this year and make it count, but have a good time as well. Make some memories. Our time this morning is 6:03. Investigators say a suspicious fire is going to force a busy store right in downtown Richmond to be closed for weeks. The fire started yesterday afternoon at the Family Dollar on East Main Street. Fire Chief Wayne Long says crews got to the fire scene very quickly. They were just behind it there, but it also spread quickly. A majority of the damage done to the back of the store.
But it started in the left rear corner in the paper product section, toilet paper, paper towels. At this time, it's still under investigation, but suspicious.
Crews say several people were in the store when the fire started. Nobody was injured, fortunately. Chief Long says investigators are checking the store's cameras now to see if they can get any leads into who may be responsible for setting the fire.
A fire at a Boyle County restaurant also is under investigation this morning. It happened yesterday afternoon at Bluegrass Pizza and Pub in Danville. Firefighters say everyone inside got out safely. Crews say the fire did not cause too much damage to the restaurant, but because the building's electricity had to be turned off, most of the food was ruined. Crews say they are still trying to figure out the exact cause of the fire. We are tracking a developing story out of Louisville this morning. Police are trying to figure out what led to a deadly shooting outside a birthday party.
It happened late last night in the city's Parkland neighborhood near downtown Louisville. And WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is at our live desk with the latest details coming in about the shooting. Caitlin?
Good morning, Bill. This morning we've learned a female victim has died after multiple were shot in a Louisville neighborhood late last night. There's still a lot we don't know this morning, and we're left with many questions, including what led up to shots fired. Here's what we do know. The shooting happened in the 2600 block of Kentucky Street shortly after 10 o'clock Tuesday night. Originally, police said 4 people had been shot. However, that's not the case. One woman thought she'd been shot. Instead, police say she suffered a different injury. Neighbors said they'd heard at least 10 shots. The Louisville Metropolitan Police Department shut down several streets to rush victims to University Hospital. Again, one person has died following the shooting. Another is listed in critical condition this morning. Again, details are very few this morning, but there is an ongoing investigation into the shooting. At the live desk, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
State police are trying to figure out what led to the deaths of a Butler County husband and wife. They say a relative found Dorothy and Kenneth Nefus dead inside their home near Morgantown. Police say there is a suspect in the case. They think that person may be injured, but so far they have not released any other details on this case.
State police in Mercer County say they are investigating a threat against the Bergen Police Department. Police say the city recently received a piece of mail that claimed a police officer would be injured if he did not stop doing his job. State police say the Bergen police reached out to them to investigate. They're currently trying to figure out where that threatening mail came from.
An arson suspect accidentally set himself on fire and was caught on security camera at a Western Kentucky business. Police in Madisonville released this video. They say on Monday, a man and woman in a van pulled into the parking lot of the business. Police say the woman broke a door of a building and then the man threw some Molotov cocktails inside. But police say one of those cocktails bounced off the door and hit his leg, setting his shorts on fire. There you go. The video shows him running around to try to put out the fire on his leg. Even after that, police say the man threw another Molotov cocktail into the building before he and the woman drove off. The two have not yet been arrested.
That's what happens. A string of thefts from cars in 2 Franklin County neighborhoods is under investigation this morning. The sheriff's office says the thefts took place over the weekend in the Evergreen Estates and the Coolbrook subdivisions. Investigators say the thieves stole anything of value that they could find in the cars, including purses, money, even a handgun in one situation. In nearly every case, the cars were unlocked. Both the sheriff and people living in the neighborhoods have the same message. Make sure your cars are locked up.
We used to leave our cars unlocked and everything, but due to all the criminal activities around, we just don't trust it, and we just pull down to the bottom of the house at night.
The sheriff thinks juveniles are behind the thefts. His office is working with Frankfort City Police to see if any other theft cases can be connected to that.
So are you currently out of work, maybe looking for a new job? You're in luck because several local employers are looking to fill positions during a job fair in Lexington this morning.
They're going to be interviewing right on the spot. Fair spokespeople say hundreds of positions will be available. Opportunities range from entry level to management in a wide variety of industries. Attendees are encouraged to dress professionally, bring plenty of resumes, and be ready to be interviewed right on the spot. The fair is at the Clarion Hotel off Newtown Pike. It will start at 10 o'clock this morning. It lasts until 2. Admission and parking for the job fair are free.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
75 degrees right now in Lexington. Yesterday, it was one of those days that you were kind of hoping for some rain because it was just downright nasty outside. That's the way it's going to be the next few days as this tropical moisture streams on in. 74 right now in Frankfort, and we're sitting at 6:10 in the morning. As you're getting up, getting ready to take off early this morning or getting the kids ready, just know this, that the morning hours look mainly dry. I'm not seeing any problems as they head out the door, out to the bus stop. That's one less thing to worry about, right? And then we slide into your afternoon. That's when you need to be worried because showers and thunderstorms start to move on in. And it's, do you bring an umbrella? Do you have a raincoat? It's just one of those days later on this afternoon that some will get the rain, some will not. It's very spotty here and there. Some go 10 miles down the road and you'll see some very heavy downpours, but you may not see any at all. 88 degrees by the afternoon with those scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast today. Here's the setup. Here's what's happening right now. Low pressure system down toward Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico. The flow around a low pressure system grabs that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. There's a lot of it, a lot of water just south of New Orleans. and that drives all that moisture northbound, okay? So that's why we're seeing so much rain down in the Gulf of Mexico, and so much rain is going to be with us in the next several days. There's a tropical moisture pipeline. So you can see it driving right into the west and northwestern zones. Now, the tropical rains will be there, meaning very heavy downpours. These raindrops are huge as they fall across your yard, and your yards and your plants are loving it. However, the creeks and streams, not so much. And look how much we're looking there for the next few days. This takes you through Monday, 2 to 4 inches of rain from central, north, and western zones. The farther you go down toward the south and southeast, better likelihood of not seeing flash flooding. So there's some good news in the forecast, and then there's some bad news. The bad news is watch out for flash flooding, central, north, and western zones as we travel through your Monday, because Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that's when the front starts to slide on in. Now, it's more widespread there on Sunday into Monday. That's when the heaviest rain moves on in. But now through Saturday, you're still talking about those hit and miss thunderstorms in the forecast. So we're still going to be seeing, I mean, listen, you can have one storm out there and nobody else is seeing rain, and that storm could produce 1 to 2 inches of rain and cause flash flooding. You don't need widespread rain to have flash flooding, and we're kind of in that setup the next few days. But like I said, Sunday into Monday, that's when the front slides on through, and we're still hoping that it pushes on out there late Monday into Tuesday morning. So that would be good news for us. The bad news is, what if it lingers a little bit longer into Tuesday, maybe Wednesday? Right now, it doesn't look like that. And we've talked about this past few days. There's nothing back behind that. We need to get this front through to actually get some dry days in store. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. And so as you're getting the kids ready today, the thing is, remember while it's dry this morning, there may really be some downpours this afternoon.
That's exactly
so
right.
everybody
There you go.
think about an umbrella or how you're going to deal with
Yeah,
that.
hopefully don't let it put too much of a damper on your first day back to school.
Good idea. Micah, thank you so much, and we appreciate you every morning. We appreciate you out there. Hopefully you get into the swing of things with weather and traffic here with us in the new school year.
Well, we appreciate Don as well.
We
Don,
do.
are you here? Hello.
Feeling appreciated. You're right. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, I am here, and I'm actually part of the traffic problem this morning because I just had a blowout on the outer loop of the circle at the Tates Creek, so I'll be over to the side of the road doing traffic for now, trying to get into the office. But other than that, I think we're okay on the circle and the interstate. Just also looking at inbound Nicholasville Road from Jessamine County, no major issues there. The interstate looks okay, too, so we get a live look at election and rush hour traffic. Of course, with the buses out this morning and the kids, you know, to be extra careful, just be aware. It takes a while to get used to things, and us too. So we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, good luck with that. Don with that roadside report this morning.
Yeah, hopefully he has a reflector or something out there because it's still a little bit dark. So hopefully, you know, people can see him on the side of the road. Be careful, Don.
Give him a hand if you see him. Again, I think he's at Tates Creek in the News Circle, somewhere in that area this morning. All right, it is 6:13 on WKYT this morning. So good to have you with us. We have a lot more news coming up on your Wednesday. 3
babies have tested positive for a potentially deadly bacteria at a Maryland hospital. Now the health officials are transferring several other infants to other facilities. We'll have a closer look at this story when we come back. 6:17 is the time. Good luck to you if you're headed out the door, maybe with the kiddos, trying to get them off to school.
Or if you're having to send them off this morning. It's some parents it's like, good, it's back to school time. Others, first-timers especially, going to be a little tough this morning. Give them a little hug for us as you send them off.
We'll help you get through with a little bit of help from caffeine as well. Well, Donald Trump is in hot water yet again, this time for making what some view as an assassination threat against opponent Hillary Clinton at a rally in North Carolina.
The unscripted comment comes as Trump continues to trail Clinton in most of the polls and is losing some support in his own party. Brian Webb has the latest from the campaign trail.
Donald Trump is trying to suppress the latest controversy that erupted moments after he said this about the right to bear arms.
If she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. Hillary wants to take your guns away. She wants to leave you unprotected in your home. This is a tremendous political movement. There can be no other interpretation.
The NRA, which has endorsed Trump, agreed with the explanation. Many Democrats sided with the Clinton campaign, who called the remarks dangerous. Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot in the head during a mass shooting, tweeted, "We must draw a line between political speech and suggestions of violence." Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy tweeted, "Don't treat this as a political misstep, it's an assassination threat." House Speaker Paul Ryan, who easily won his state's primary Tuesday, also spoke out.
It sounds like just a joke gone bad. You should never joke about something like that.
Trump has been under fire from members of his own party to stick to message. Yesterday, he took aim at the media for allegedly ignoring the presence of Orlando shooter Omar Mateen's father at one of Clinton's rallies this week.
If that were me, this would be a headline all over the world.
The Clinton campaign has since disavowed Mateen's support and says he was not an invited guest. Brian Webb for CBS News.
Hillary Clinton will continue to tout her jobs plan in Iowa today and will deliver a major economic speech in Detroit tomorrow.
A new report from the Justice Department finds Baltimore police routinely discriminate against blacks, use excessive force, and are not adequately held accountable for misconduct. The report marks the end of a year-long investigation that began after the death of Freddie Gray. The 25-year-old died last year from injuries he suffered while being transported in a police van. A neonatal intensive care unit at a Maryland hospital is still closed this morning after 3 babies tested positive for a potentially deadly bacteria. Officials at Prince George's Hospital Center transferred several infants to other hospitals yesterday. Authorities think the bacteria originated in water pipes leading into the hospital. According to the CDC, 51,000 people in a healthcare setting get infected with this particular bacteria every year, and 400 people with the bacteria die each year. Doctors say the 3 babies who tested positive are all clinically asymptomatic and may not be infected.
Major concern, though. 6:20 now on WKYT, and if you're an AT&T customer, make sure you check the mail. You could have a refund check waiting for you. You don't want to throw it away. AT&T has agreed to pay nearly $7.8 million over allegations of cramming. The FCC says some customers, mostly small business owners, were charged $9 a month for a fake directory assistance service. Refund checks will be sent out over the next 90 days or so. In-flight entertainment is now free on all American Airlines domestic flights. Now passengers can watch their favorite TV show or catch the latest movie. Viewing is available through seatback screens or streaming it on their personal devices through the airline's app. The move just went into effect this month. The airline says it's an investment in its customers, their experience, and remaining competitive in the travel market. Ride sharing and coffee could go hand in hand. Lyft is going to start selling $20 gift cards at participating Starbucks locations. The cards come with a $5 Starbucks gift card as a free bonus. Lyft says the partnership will help them gain market share and compete with rival Uber. So we'll see how that all pans out.
A little bit of free coffee goes a long way.
It does.
WKYT this morning is just getting started. The world is buzzing over the Summer Olympics in Rio, but there's another game event out there that animal lovers are finding positively perfect, shall we say. We have a closer look after the break.
That system in the Gulf or near the Gulf continues to throw the moisture northbound, and that will give us the rounds of showers and thunderstorms the next several days. I'll have that coming up next.
Welcome back in. It is 6:25 this morning. Hope your day is off to a great start.
First day of school, exciting time for a lot of students. We hope they make it a great year.
Yeah, we do. We wish you well. Well, it is the first day of school for several school districts across central Kentucky this morning.
And that's what's trending at this hour here on WKYT. Nearly 42,000 students will be heading back to class in Fayette County this morning. Over a dozen other counties also starting school today. And with school buses back out on the roads, Lexington police are reminding drivers to leave early if possible and stay very cautious throughout your morning commute. Also, but this afternoon we could be dealing with some showers in the region. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, you saw it yesterday where some of us picked 0 rain up, 0, a whopping 0, and then some of us close to 2 inches of rain. That's the way it's going to be again today. Meteorologist Micah Harris getting you updated on your morning if you're about to get the kids out the door here in just about an hour or so. It really looks mostly dry. I'm not seeing any problems getting on the bus heading to school. Coming home is going to be a different story. A few showers, few rumbles of thunder, guys. We're going to be focusing in not only on the next few days, but also heading off into your weekend, because your weekend off into early next week is when the front actually rolls on through, and that's when we could get widespread rain. So how much are we talking about? Any severe weather? Any questions about flash flooding? I'm going to have those answers coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. All right, we've been talking about the Olympics lately, right?
I like the ping pong, table tennis, whatever it's
You
called.
like that, and there are lots of big events going on. The United States doing great in the swimming and even some of the equestrian events, but there is nothing like the majesty and excitement of the summer games. Still, there is another type of competition that's creating its own buzz, or maybe we should say meows.
Kitten summer games. We know what you're thinking.
The Cat
potentially.
Olympics?
You got to be kidding me. Okay, I had to say it. Oh, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Pretty cheesy. It's a thing, apparently, though. Hosted by the Hallmark Channel, 90 cat athletes compete in tumbling and track and field events. Okay, Bill, you take it. There's probably going to be another one of those.
It's not real competition. You know, it's hard to get the cats to do what you want them to do, but they sure look adorable pretending that it is, right? The best part, the whole event, which was taped in April, was used to find homes for the furry competitors, and they were all shelter kittens, and now many of them have permanent homes, forever homes, as they often call them.
Playing off the popularity from the kitten bowl, right?
There you go. Well, they sure were cute. Good to have you on WKYT this morning at 6:27, and we're coming back with our top stories.
Well, several dogs are recovering after being rescued in Garrett County. We'll tell you how they're doing and how you can help them at 6:30.
Going to check in on this first day of school as well, and tonight's Powerball, $67 million. Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is now $45 million. Coming right back on WKYT.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Time to rise and shine, and for many to head off to school today. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Good luck to all you kids, your parents, and your teachers out there.
Make it a good year as you pack those lunches, get ready to go. Now at 6:30, thousands of kids throughout central Kentucky heading back to school this morning. We're going to have more live on what you need to know on this first day of classes just ahead.
A store in Richmond could be closed for weeks after a suspicious fire. More on the firefighters' investigation coming up.
And several American athletes win medals in day 4 of competition at the Rio Olympics. Highlights of their successes ahead on WKYT This Morning.
We have a mixture of sun and clouds out there early this morning for the kids heading out to the bus stop. I don't see any problems. The problem is them coming back home from school. I'll show you when those storms spark up and where, coming up in a few short minutes.
And as we get to the news this morning, it is emotional, it's fun, it's exciting, all of those things. A lot of emotions on the first day of school. Hard to believe that summer break is over. Thousands of students across central Kentucky getting ready to start a brand new school year.
Yes, and students from more than a dozen counties are packing up their lunches, preparing to head off to the bus stop this morning, or potentially the vehicle drop-off line. Michelle Chamberlain is live with at the bus barn with more on the first day of school.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, there are a lot of emotions. I have a kid going to kindergarten this year, so I feel the pain of those with young ones. And you know, there's parents who are excited their kids are going to school, and even the bus drivers here that we've talked to this morning, they're excited. And these bus drivers, some of them are going to have new stop this year. So we've got 2 elementary schools opening up here in Lexington. Coventry Oak and Garrett Morgan Elementaries will open their doors for school for the first time this morning. The schools had their ribbon cutting ceremonies last week, if you remember seeing that. But keep in mind that these 2 new schools will add more traffic to certain parts of town here in Lexington. Coventry Oak is on Huntley Place off of Georgetown Road. Garrett Morgan is on Passage Mound Way, that's off of Polo Club Boulevard. And AAA wants to remind people to not text and drive, of course, and if you have to be on the phone, to please be hands-free. Come to a complete stop at stop signs and stop for school buses loading and unloading kids. That's always important to remember. Remember, we've got more than 40,000 kids heading out on the road this morning as school has begun here in Fayette County. You can see behind me, the buses here at the Fayette County Bus Garage are leaving to go pick up those kids this morning. So be safe, be careful out there on the roads, and remember to leave a few minutes earlier because there is going to be added traffic here in Lexington. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, and enjoy the school year ahead. You know, have some fun, learn some things.
Yeah, it's important to do that latter part, right?
You got it. Things look pretty dry for students heading off to school this morning. We could, though, see some showers move through this afternoon.
Yeah, you also have to potentially pack that umbrella with the kiddos. Micah Harris in the First Alert Weather Center with a look.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a good-looking afternoon, but this morning's not all that bad. So heading to school, everybody will get there just fine, and as I don't see any problems there on the roadways either. Roadways will start to become a little bit more packed as we head throughout the next several hours. Now, here's the deal toward the afternoon. You get into the afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast. And so it's going to be much like yesterday, where some see the rain, some do not. Best chance of rain still remains across that 75 corridor and back toward the west. The western zones remain the best location to pick up some heavy downpours. Southeast, don't get me wrong, you still have the chance, but it's not as good of a chance as back toward the west. High water issues, guys, that's going to be possible the next few days. That is our focus of the forecast, because the more that we continue to see these thunderstorms move over one area, the more chances that we start to see that water rise in some of these creeks and streams. Got to be watching that closely, and it becomes very widespread there toward parts of the weekend. I'll show you that 7-day in just about 5 minutes.
And we'll see you then. Thank you.
Well, a store in downtown Richmond could be closed for weeks because of a fire.
Investigators say that fire appears to be suspicious as to how it started. It was late yesterday afternoon at the Family Dollar on East Main Street, right in downtown Richmond, when it broke out. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner at our live desk now with more. Caitlin?
Good morning, Bill. Arson investigators were called in after crews fought a fire right in the heart of downtown Richmond. A woman WKYT talked to said she was looking at her phone when she noticed smoke coming from the Family Dollar. Firefighters say it was really a team effort knocking this fire down. While a crew made entry from the front of the building, another was behind it. They say they had to cut into a bolted door to get in. Chief Wayne Long said the initial investigation showed the fire started in the paper section of the store that's closed for now.
I hope and pray it'll be back up and running soon, because I do get a lot of my personal belongings at Family Dollar.
Now, Chief Long said investigators would be looking at surveillance footage for clues into what led up to the fire. At the live desk, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. And they're looking to solve that mystery. A Boyle County man says a thief took his trailer with $50,000 worth of antiques inside it after the 127 yard sale. Daryl Sutherland says he had just wrapped up his work at the yard sale when it all happened. Police later arrested Jerry Stratton for the theft, but they say Stratton had given away some of the antiques. Sutherland says police did recover some of the stolen items, but several are still missing, and he's now asking anyone who received a free item from Stratton to contact Junction City Police.
A woman accused of setting a Winchester home on fire last year will return to court today. Anita Raleigh is charged with arson and wanton endangerment. Last week, she pleaded not guilty to those charges. Investigators say the fire happened at a home on Kidville Road last August. According to court documents, witnesses reported seeing Raleigh light paper to try and start the fire. Police say people were inside the home at the time, including 2 young children. No one was injured. We are tracking a developing story out of Louisville this morning. 1 person is dead. 2 others are in critical condition after police say they were shot outside a birthday party. Happened just before 10 last night in the city's Parkland neighborhood. Police originally thought 4 people were shot, but now they say it was just 3. Police had not made any arrests in the case, nor have they said what led to the shooting. Continue to check WKYT.com for updates throughout the day.
Police are hoping security footage will help lead to the arrest of a gas station burglar in Letcher County. They say a man ripped out an air conditioning unit and climbed through a wall at the Indian Creek Gas and Go. Police say the man went straight for the cigarettes before taking off moments later. They think he stole around $400 worth of cigarettes. The gas station's owner says he has only owned that business for a few months.
It makes you wonder, you know, if you should just try to keep it going, or you know, just people like, it's hard to have anything for people like that, you know.
Police say they do have a suspect in the case. At this time, no arrests have been made, though.
Authorities say a Garrett County man will likely face animal cruelty charges after several of his dogs were found starving and malnourished. Investigators were first reported of the dogs after someone saw 3 locked in the owner's car at a gas station. Police later discovered that 2 more were at the man's home. The dogs were taken to the Garrett County Animal Shelter, where they are now recovering. But the animal shelter director, Brittany Collins, says those dogs were not in good shape when they first got there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say they were about a 2. They had been in the truck, the man had said, about all day, and they were skin and bones. And 1 is actually pregnant.
At this time, police say they're still investigating. In the meantime, animal shelter workers are helping the dogs try to recover as quickly as possible. The shelter is asking for donations of dog food and money. If you'd like to help, you can find out how on WKYT.com. Let's check to see how traffic is moving. Officer Don, poor guy.
Last time we checked in, he was roadside with a problem. Ah, you made it in. Somebody give you a ride, or did you get it fixed?
Well, you know, I did get a ride, but that's what I get for not having a spare. I mean, what am I thinking? You know, how can that happen? But
anyway, you didn't have a spare tire.
No spare tire. We'll get it straightened out, though. By the way, it is on the outer loop of the circle around Tate's Creek, but it's over to the side, just to make you aware there's a stalled vehicle there right now. We'll get it out of the way here in just a little bit. Other than that, the buses are on the road this morning. No major issues, but things, of course, are going to be a little slower. So you want to be careful, and safety first, of course, with the kids out there now. Inbound Nicholasville Road past Man of War looks okay, and so does Harrodsburg Road through the crossover, watching that. As far as our drive times go, really no complaints just yet. We're going to see that probably more in the next 30 minutes as far as a slowdown and getting to work and whatever. But for now, we're in pretty good shape, and we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, we know you will. Glad you made it in there. And so Officer Don and Deanna on 98.1 The Bull. Listen in as you drive along. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. Do it now here on this first day of school and get in a good routine. Be with us in the morning. We'll update you on everything that's going on and make it a good year ahead.
Yeah, feeling good about it, right?
More news coming up on WKYT here on your Wednesday morning.
A California barbershop owner is teaching young people lessons on self-respect. Just ahead, find out how he's doing so, one belt at a time.
And we're looking outside and seeing scattered showers up toward Ohio and Indiana. For us, not so much right now, but afternoon, there is a chance in the forecast, and we'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
70s out there early this morning, and it's a good-looking start. Mixture of sun and clouds, no rain outside, and we'll see that rain come in later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. Now, let me tell you this. Once the rain comes, remember, it's no widespread rain, but you will get some passing showers and thunderstorms are very scattered out there later on today. So kids going to school this morning, no problems at the bus stop. Coming home, that's going to be a different story. You might have to meet them out at the bus stop with an umbrella or so. Back to school, like I said, morning hours look pretty good. Afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms just like yesterday, where some see the rain and some do not. We're at about a 40% chance of rain today. Next few days, today through, I would say Friday, is about a 40% chance of rain, meaning it's hit and miss. Some will see the rain, some will not. Not overall a lot of rain expected, about a half an inch to about an inch of rain now through your Saturday morning. But Saturday night into Sunday and into Monday, look what happens. Now you're talking about widespread rain. Remember, the next few days you can have some heavy downpours. If you get under those, no doubt about it, they'll be heavy. But in the terms of just being widespread, a better coverage area, it's going to be toward the weekend and off into early next week. Central, northwestern zones, there's no doubt about it. The plume of moisture, the pipeline, is back toward the west, and that's going to give us the opportunity of picking up 2, potentially 4 inches of rain, and now through Monday in that area. So that does include Lexington and Richmond and the Bluegrass. Go northbound into, say, Harrison County, Scott, Owen, Henry, Shelby, back toward the west into that 150 corridor, Boyle County, Washington, Marion, Taylor, those areas is where we could see the highest risk, not just for heavy rain, but possible flash flooding as well. Now, as we travel farther south and southeast, better likelihood of not staying dry. I don't want to call it that, but drier, okay? So the better chance to actually see that is central, north, and western zones for that heavy rain and a flash flooding issue. It's mainly toward the weekend, but still, you could have one of those storms pop up. As I said earlier, you don't need widespread rain to have flash flooding concerns. All you need is one thunderstorm popping up with moisture like we have, how tropical it is outside. It could just stay over one area, and boy, you'll get 1-2 inches of rain very quickly. One storm can do that. Doesn't need to be multiple storms. So that's going to be the case the next few days. But Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, you got any plans this weekend with any events going on? It doesn't look all that good this weekend off into Monday. So you just keep in mind that the more widespread rain is going to be toward the weekend off into early next week. Next few days, guys, is more about the hit and miss thunderstorms, and most of that's toward the afternoon hours. So kids going to school this morning, going to school tomorrow and Friday. Remember, some kids still aren't going back to school until Thursday. So just keep in mind that the morning hours look good. It's the afternoons. It's going to be a problem here or there.
With those downpours just last a little while.
They
do.
do.
Have troubles.
Yeah, they can add up very quickly.
All right. Micah, thank you. 6:48 right now.
Just like many places across the country, the city of Oakland has its fair share of inner city problems, but one barbershop there has become a safe haven for the neighborhood by teaching young people how to be respectful.
He's our Martin Luther King around here.
Well, Tyrone Burns has earned the respect of his neighborhood with one simple message: pull up your pants. And he's not kidding. Burns says he will ban anyone from his shop who has their pants sagging or if they use any foul language.
When I see that, I see a person that's trying to be a wannabe, somebody that's trying to be like everybody else that don't really know their own identity.
May not sound appealing to everybody, but it appears to be working. Burns says the young people who do come in have discovered that self-respect is gained by giving respect to others. He says it's even helped people land jobs because it teaches them some character. Burns says it's just his way of trying to help the young generation in his neighborhood. There you go.
One belt at a time,
yeah,
right?
There you go.
Pull your pants up.
Yeah, it's kind of taking it very seriously, but you know, he has standards, right?
Yes.
There you go. All right, 6:49 on WKYT this morning.
More news. Stick around with us.
Coming up, Donald Trump stirs controversy with a remark perceived by many as a veiled threat against Hillary Clinton. We'll have reaction from both sides. Plus, how prone to cyber attacks are our voting machines? More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Several thousand kids across central Kentucky are going back to school. It's just one of the stories making headlines this morning. Michelle Chamberlain is joining us with a look at what else. Actually, well, Michelle, you're looking very different right now.
I can't pull that off now. I don't look as good as Michelle Chamberlain, but I'm over here to update you on what is trending on the web at this hour. Summer vacation is now over for thousands of students in central Kentucky. More than a dozen counties and the district started a new day today. In Fayette County, 42,000 students are having their first days back at school. Several local leaders, including Superintendent Manny Calk, Mayor Jim Gray, the police chief, all riding buses with students this morning. And here at WKYT, we'll be watching the weather for you very carefully. A rainy forecast, especially for this afternoon on the first day of school for many. Firefighters in Richmond believe that a fire that damaged a local store is suspicious. The fire happened at the Family Dollar on East Main Street. The Richmond fire chief says the initial investigation shows the fire was started in some paper products in that section of the store. Due to the damage, that store is going to be closed, it looks like, for some weeks, and that's a hardship on many who depend on that there in the downtown Richmond area. Also on our website, a woman has died after she and two others were shot outside a birthday party in Louisville. You can find continuing updates on that developing story throughout the day and all the news on WKYT.com. Rebecca.
Thank you, Bill. There could be 2 more days of flooded streets and water rescues in Tucson, Arizona, as the Southwest sees another round of storms associated with what was Tropical Storm Javier in Mexico. Yesterday, water swallowed up several vehicles in Tucson as heavy rains fell. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood watch until Thursday there. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is making headlines again, this time for suggesting Second Amendment advocates could stop Hillary Clinton from appointing Supreme Court judges who would abolish the right to bear arms. The Republican nominee maintains the remarks yesterday were simply a call for political mobilization. Clinton's campaign and other Democrats accused Trump of inciting violence. A steakhouse chain that began in central Kentucky has filed for bankruptcy. Logan's Roadhouse officials say falling sales, rising food costs, and tough competition led to the decision. In a statement, the chain announced it plans to close 18 underperforming restaurants. Those locations have not yet been announced. Logan's says its chief executive will also leave the company. It's now based in Nashville, but the first Logan's Roadhouse opened in Lexington, actually, back in 1991.
Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul campaigning in Georgetown today for re-election. Senator Paul is scheduled to tour the Georgetown Community Hospital before sitting down with doctors, some business owners, and some others for a roundtable discussion there. Paul is facing Lexington Mayor Jim Gray in the Kentucky race for the U.S. Senate. We checked Gray's campaign schedule. He has no campaign appearances scheduled, but if he is out there on the school bus in Lexington this morning. It's he's doing 2 jobs, being mayor and running that election effort right now.
All right, let's get a check of Micah for a look at the weather on this first day of classes for a lot of kids.
Yeah, see what's going on. Check it out. Here it is.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those times that you're heading back to school. It's one of those things. Did I forget this? Do I need to remember this? It's just you got so many things going on. One thing I can kind of just get away from is you don't have to worry about any rain this morning. There's some good news for you. So that's one less thing for you guys to worry about as kids head back out to school. Defender Radar Network looking pretty good this morning. The problem is them coming home from school. So coming home, you'll need that umbrella. You'll need to probably meet them out at the bus stop just because some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be in the forecast later on today. And notice I said scattered and not widespread. Not everybody will get the rain today. But guys, when you do, it's going to be heavy. Had a buddy call me yesterday say, I pick up 2 inches of rain in my house. And I'm like, hey, you live about 10 miles from a person that just tweeted out to me that they didn't pick up anything. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's going to be.
All right. Give those kids a hug for us this morning as you send them off to school. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you for being on WKYT.
Have a great one.